It's Lost in Plot. We're back, and today we have for you Dexter New Blood, Episode 2. Episode 2, we can't dodge the bullet of exposition anymore, because we got a bunch of it in this second episode called The Storm of something or other. Yeah, you know what the storm is of. Don't act like you don't. So I was praising the first episode. I loved it so much, I gave it a 9 out of 10.
He was crazy about the first episode.
Loved it. And now we're back. And one of the things I praised it for was the fact that they didn't go into all this exposition about what Dexter's been doing for the past 8 years or 10 years, whatever it is. Lo and behold, this is what we get in the second episode. So the second episode, there's no spoilers here, but it's a lot of fallout from what happened right at the end of the first episode. And a person out of Dexter's past has returned, and they have a lot of conversations back and forth about the past, about past things, tying up loose ends from the horrible season 8 of Dexter and all of that stuff. Which
That's right, and these are conversations that, quite frankly, I didn't want to be a part of. I didn't want them to have. What I liked about the first pilot episode when I saw it is that it basically resets and restarts Dexter. We are reintroducing you to all these characters.
You are going.
You can start from scratch and not have watched any of the previous seasons and have at it. And they did such a nice job setting it up. Bit of a disappointment to regress back for this one.
It is. That's why this one kind of strikes me a bit as a filler episode. Now, they do move things forward a little bit. That's kind of interesting. He's got to kind of race against the authorities with the fallout of what happened from the prior episode. We get glimpses of what I assume to be the main villain or antagonist, or if you want to call it a big bad, for the season. We see little flashes of what the new killer may be. And we do get some development of the characters and the relationships, but mostly the least interesting part of this is kind of the meat. And it's Dexter and this character from his past having these repeated conversations about what's been happening over the prior years.
Talky. We say it a lot on this show that we like character development that's based on characters taking meaningful actions that impacts the plot and reveals character at the same time. What you don't like is when characters sit around talking about themselves or things that they've already done. And if you can get around it, so much so the better. But when you start to dwell in it, it really is a drag on your show. And I think episode 2 suffers from that.
Yeah, so it's not an episode I'll look forward to coming back to if I ever do go back to watch this season, but there are points at it where we see characters' behavior, and that is much more interesting. When we see how characters interact with others, that's much more interesting than them having a conversation of what's been going on in their lives for so long. So this one is alive for me, but it's down lower at a 6 out of 10. Now, it's not derailing the series or anything like that, but not as good as the first episode because of all that exposition.
No, I think a 6 out of 10 is fair. I'd probably put it at a 5 out of 10 personally because it's dead for you.
Yeah, it's a bit of a filler episode.
Was it bad writing, though?
This is a bad story. Did it kill any of the characters for you?
I think it's all serviceable. I don't think it really hurt the characters, but it didn't meaningfully move anything
It really
forward.
Was a filler episode.
It made no bold choices. It didn't advance Dexter or any of the characters in a meaningful way. Instead, it just kind of treaded water and was a bit obnoxious in doing so, for me.
Agreed. It's not a deal breaker. I'm not ready to suddenly reverse course on this season. I think it's still doing a good job, and I'm excited to see where it's going to go with episode 3 coming up very soon. But this one, too much filler, too much talky.
There you go, guys. That's our take on Dexter, episode 2. If you've seen it, please share your thoughts down in the comments section below. If you like this video, consider leaving us a thumbs. If you loved it, do a subscription. Check us out on Twitter, and we'll see you all on the next one.